I wasn't ready for the plunge and I'm not ready for recording.
How is it?
I don't know. Very, very cold.
So last January, I was going through a bit of a tough mental time. Felt very lost, and I didn't really feel a lot of emotions. After watching the documentary, it kind of sparked a little bit of a fire inside, because I already was aware of the benefits of cold plunging because I've done it with my friends. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do it again because I knew how good it made me feel. Kind of became a habit of going in the morning for plunge, and then we would go for coffee afterwards. One of the video of those weekends went viral when we hit 2 million views on Instagram. So yeah, I decided to start Chillsnsip.
What are the benefits then?
There's quite a few. There's physical and mental. I always say that there are three things that you have to kind of focus on. The first one is
Luigi, welcome to Realistic Happiness.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know if I feel realistically happy now because, as you can see, this is not. I have no makeup on. I'm wearing what I wore this morning because Luigi made us. Not you didn't make us actually, but we
I
wanted
didn't
to.
force you.
But you said it might be a good idea to try.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Try before I buy. And me and Jamie, we jumped into is it a canal? We jumped into
still a canal, yeah.
We jumped into a canal. Not jumped actually, went down the ladder. And it was really, really cold.
Yeah,
and it was
it
cold
was.
exposure, essentially.
Very good for you.
It is, but we'll put some clips of the experience. It was really scary.
Yeah, I saw. I noticed you were you were a lot in your head.
I was literally I'm gonna die. I'm so cold.
It's pretty common. I think you were a lot more vocal about it.
Even the dog's crying. I can't do this.
You can. Trust me. Everybody can. Just go down. Don't let your brain. Stop listening to your brain. Get out of your head. Focus on your breath.
You're shaking.
Get out of your head and focus on your breath.
I think that's what everybody goes through in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, just your brain just doesn't want to put you into discomfort, so it's trying to keep you safe all the time.
You were a really good coach. You were like, hey, you're fine, breathe. You were coaching people through it. I thought that was amazing.
I appreciate it.
So how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so last January I was going through a bit of a tough mental time. I was in a bit of a depressive state, and basically I was watching a documentary from a channel that's called Yes Theory. It's called Project Iceman, and it's a document about the journey of a guy that decides to do the first long distance triathlon in Antarctica. And I don't know, it's just during the period before watching the documentary, I felt very lost, and I didn't really feel a lot of emotions. I felt very numb. And after watching the documentary, it kind of sparked a little bit of a fire inside. And from that day, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do something. And because I already was before aware of the benefits of cold plunging because I've done it with my friends.
Oh wow, where?
In the same spot where I did it. So it was my previous flatmate, and we decided one day to do kind of a similar challenge. So we went for 4 straight days to do the cold plunge. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do it again because I knew how good it made me feel. But actually doing it alone it was a lot more beneficial for me now looking back. I think it's just because it proved myself a lot more. I didn't have anyone to motivate me. It was coming only from myself.
Wow.
So it was kind of a bit more beneficial. But yeah, then I decided to do that. So went for 7 days straight into the canals. Went from 1 minute to 5 minutes.
But you did 5 minutes.
Yeah. With the the 6th day, I was doing already 5 minutes.
Wow. And did your tolerance build up then, I guess?
Slow, yeah. I think the getting into the water and the feeling of the water doesn't really change much, but you get a bit more comfortable to approach and get through it. The afterwards, your feet still hurts. It doesn't really change much, but just you get a bit more comfortable and going through that stress, let's say.
Yes, it is stressful.
So but yeah, like after the 7 days, basically I was recording it every day and posting it online. So I started gathering a bit of interest from close friends, which they started joining me, and kind of became a habit of going in the morning for plunge, and then we would go for coffee afterwards.
Mm.
And I don't know, the idea just picked up a lot of interest from other close friends. By the end of, I think, February, we had like 30 people on the weekend. And one of the video of those weekends went viral when we hit 2 million views on Instagram. And from that day, I've received, I think, 700 messages in 2 weeks or like 3 weeks. So I was kind of in this position. I was like, okay, I need to organize this in a bit more structured way. So yeah, I decided to start Chillsnsip.
Amazing
Yeah.
name. Amazing name.
Thank you. I mean, it was kind of obvious because that's what we were doing, like,
Mm.
so it was, yeah, it was kind of easy to get into it, into the name. Yeah, and that was kind of how this whole journey started.
It's just crazy. So it shows like with the virality and the hundreds of messages that people were, yeah, searching for like a community that it's like-minded and they're all like focusing on their health. Because the reason I was a bit hesitant to like join, because I joined today and now I'm a believer and I'm like, I want to do that again, even though it was crazy. It was like my body was numb. I was so cold. It felt like I was burning in the water, which sounds crazy. But now like I see the benefits and stuff, and we've rabbit holed and researched on the benefits of cold plunging and ice baths, etc. But my friendship group before was more parties, more
Hmm.
unhealthy habits like
Yeah,
brunches and cocktails
yeah,
and eating unhealthy. And then I could imagine, like, when people are going on this health journey on their own, for example, that finding a community like this is very exciting because you're all
yeah,
like-minded, you're all
yeah,
going through the same
exactly.
experience, and then you can form good habits together and make new friends that are not gonna make you go back to those bad
Yeah,
habits.
exactly. So this is kind of like what we realized with my co-founders when we started Chills and Sip, is that the plunge itself was not really like the core thing of it. People were just enjoying a lot more the being able to connect with like-minded people, being able to again, socialize and being in a different environment that doesn't necessarily have to be like a bar or somewhere where alcohol is involved.
Mm.
Or so that's kind of one of the first things that we realized. That was also one of the reasons why we never been like a ice bath community, but more like a
Mm.
social wellness community, because we realized that there's a lot of people that are interested into this wellness space and they want to do things good for themselves. But we noticed that there was almost nothing that um, merged the two things together. So social aspect of it and wellness, because usually if you go for wellness, I don't know, yoga or
Yeah.
meditation, you just go there. It's an amazing experience, but there's no connection.
Mm.
There's no social interaction. There's almost, you go to the class, then you leave.
There's no
So
downtime.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
no human interaction, or like space to build those human interactions. Yeah, so that's why kind of we noticed this social aspect, how people were like very craving
Mm.
this aspect of it, and was quite interesting to figure that out. And yeah, that's why we evolved into different kind of activities, and we implemented more of different activities like yoga, breathwork, running, things like this into our events.
Yeah. Could you
uh,
tell me a bit more? Because there's just 4 that you offer, right?
well,
At the
so
moment.
it depends. At the moment, our summer events were set up in a certain way. So there was 3 activities before the ice bath. So you could choose to do yoga, breath work, or running, and afterwards everybody would like join into like social plus ice bath. Uh, but we also had events where there's no ice bath, but there's just, I don't know, meditation or just breath work, or um, yeah, just yoga. So it really depends. It depends on the event. The idea, as I said, is mostly to just have social experiences that are related to wellness.
Yeah. And I just can't believe today, like, because when you sign up, you don't see like who's coming or anything. And the group was pretty big. And It was just so interesting, like everyone experiencing the same thing and like just going in and being like, oh, it's so cold. And then we're swimming. At some point, we're like chilling in the cold
Yeah.
water. And how everyone just stayed after
Hmm.
today. Like I thought this was just my expectations, dip in, freezing, get warm again in my towel, and then leave straight away. But like there was just some kind of trauma bond, maybe. We
Yeah,
all
yeah,
went
for
through the
sure.
same
For
thing.
sure, for sure. I mean, it's also kind of like what the way we set up the event from the beginning. Like I was saying, like the plunge is not really necessarily the focus part.
Hmm.
It's just the like healthy habits that we really like, because I think as few things that you can do in life for yourself that are like extremely good, and ice bath is one of them in my for my opinion. uh and but yeah, like most people are really just coming because they are craving this, wanting to socialize and wanting to connect with like-minded people.
Yeah. And what are the benefits then of like immersing yourself in cold water or ice?
Yes, there's quite a few. There's physical and mental. In mental is just obviously the resilience that you get from resisting to being in water while your brain is telling you to get out. There is just the benefit of being able to deal with stress that can be replicated in everyday life. When stress comes, if you're really focused and you can control it in the way that you do in the ice bath, you can you know translate that into everyday life. It's improves circulation, releases dopamine and endorphins that are mood boosters. Um, for physical benefits like recovery. Um, yeah, there is a lot of them, and I think just in general for anyone that has any willingness to improve themselves or to feel better about themselves, is just there is gonna be a benefit that you get from ice bath.
Mm.
Even like it can improve sleeps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, uh, that's what I mean. There's quite a lot of benefit that you can get out of it. I think personally the most important one, especially in this day, it's the mental resilience and the ability to deal with stress. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And you mentioned in the car before the burning calories.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's
my
also
God.
this
I mean,
one of
win-win.
the fastest way to burn calories. Yeah.
So many benefits compared to like just meditation or just positive affirmations or
Yeah.
going to the gym,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
I
just
mean,
has so
there's.
many.
I think it's just like anything is not like a magic wand that is gonna solve all your problems. Like if you want to go through a journey of wellness, you kind of have to implement different things and see what works for you the best. But in my opinion, it's one of the best things that you can do for your just overall well-being.
Yeah, yeah. My friend said her and her dad, who has Parkinson's disease,
Mm.
were doing it together, and this was helping him with his
Yeah, amazing,
Parkinson's.
amazing.
And I've been sick for 8 days now, cold, flu, achy face, tired. Is the eighth day today. I had a blocked nose this
Mm-hmm.
morning. And now
Nothing.
I can breathe. Like, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
placebo, but I don't care. I'm
Well,
very happy.
yeah, I mean,
Eh,
you have a biological change, so it's not.
Oh, really?
Well,
Oh,
it helps also with the immune system. It's strengthening the immune system. So yeah,
do you know how it does that, or is that a bit
a
scientific?
bit too scientific. I don't
Okay.
want to,
Yeah.
yeah, put out there wrong information. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But you are like also something we spoke about as well is like I thought I'd be more energetic. Some people are, but I'm super tired now.
yeah,
I could nap. I could
yeah.
stop this recording and
It's
nap.
what I think is because of your body not being the first time, not being used to it, is just used a lot of energy to warm yourself up again.
Mm.
So it's gonna make you feel, and it's gonna it relaxes you as well.
It
So
is, it does.
I
If
think
I
it's
could
a
do this,
combination of both.
imagine every day, like if you've got a very stressful job or like even the podcast, if I'm a bit nervous, just doing that super
Mm-hmm.
quick, you'd feel you can conquer the world.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you before, like when I started this journey, I was basically depressed, and after 7 days, it kind of completely switched the my mental state. Uh, and then in combination, for instance, I would do cold plunge, then workout, and then sauna, and like a combination of this is makes you feel like you're a superhero. Honestly,
Wow.
it's really like you get mood benefits, the stress release. You get the improvement on like cardiac vascular from the sauna. It's a really good combination of everything.
I
That
can imagine that
yeah.
your habits just change if you start this.
Uh, yeah, I mean, like you start the day, and after doing this, you basically have all the energy, good mood, you super focused, super sharp, and you do feel like you can conquer your day. So, a lot of time, I think your bad habits are also coming from a place of like not feeling great. Maybe, like, I feel tired, I don't have energy, I'm not gonna cook, I'm gonna just do takeaway. Like this is kind of what happened. So usually when you set up in the morning yourself as a for success, then a lot of these small bad habits will probably fade away slowly, and you will eventually have a lot more productive and a lot more fulfilling day. I think what I feel. That's what it did to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It sounds like it's changed your life completely.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the community and everything that came from it, just on a personal level, yeah, it's definitely changed. Definitely changed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm listening to this, I can imagine my sisters who love to be super warm with a hot water bottles, heating cranked up at home, and like listening to this. Like, I see the benefits. I see it has so much benefits, but I just, yeah, I can't bring myself to do it.
Hmm.
What do you think for like a skeptical person, sorry, or someone who doesn't have like a community? Like, how could they try and motivate themselves to do this? Big question.
Well, no, I would definitely start from cold showers. I think that's the best first steps. You don't have to do much. You can just do 10, start with 10, 15 seconds. You can start with warm water, and
Hmm.
then the last 10, 15 seconds, you just turn the water all the way
All the
out
way.
and just
Yeah.
slowly build up. I think it's very, and I'm Italian from south of Italy, so for me, cold was not like my best friend. It's not, I'm not a person that enjoys cold, and I was super excited to do this. I also didn't find it appealing, but I think if you try once, that's all it takes. Like, I think once you get through it, and if you, from this is also the main difference you were saying about meditation and other things, like to actually see results for meditation journaling, you have to go through a period of it, and ice bath from day one, you get some sort of benefit, even if it's just the fact that you manage to get in and stay, and then you get out, you already get that mental victory, and that's already a benefit. It already makes you feel a lot more proud of yourself.
Mm.
So that's already from day one, plus the mood boosting things that you feel.
Mm.
I think it's just once you have to try it, and just if you don't feel like doing a cold plunge, it's for you. Just start with cold shower. You'll
Mm.
be fine.
And it's enough, right? A cold shower.
Yeah, for the first time, if you're not used to it, if you have to get into it a bit slower, I think doing a cold shower is already a great start. You will feel kind of the same benefit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering with the degrees because I was like this week doing the cold showers, hot and then cold. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I think it might be colder than this. I don't think anything gets you ready for how cold like a canal is or a river is.
Yeah, but you can get your mind a little bit more easier into it,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the biggest challenge when you have to do a cold plunge is your mind. It's literally, that's all it is. It's just that mental battle that you have to win. That's why when we start, first timers, I always tell them, like, you have to stop to listen to your brain and just focus on your breathing, because that's literally all you have to do to like go through it. It's just long breath, calm down, and just it feels natural because your brain just kind of like identify with what goes going on in your brain. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like, your actions sometimes, actually, it's also a good habit to learn to take actions that are contradictory what your brain is telling you.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of time, your brain could tell you like, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, but you still have to do it. So
Yeah.
it's a good habit. And yeah, I think that's all it is. Just focus on your breath and don't listen to your brain.
Does it get easier though? Because I feel like I felt like yeah,
It
my
does.
brain. I was just like
It does get
panic
easier. No,
today.
but it
Yeah,
does get easier too, especially with the. That's what I was saying. One of the main benefits for me is mental resilience because
yeah,
you really feel stronger mentally. It's just it's a normal consequence because you just keep proving to your mind that you're in control and you're the one that's gonna take the action. And it's not your brain guiding you.
yeah.
It's just a consequence that then you will feel stronger mentally. I always say that there are like three things that you have to kind of like focus on. The first one is your breath, because when you get in, your breath pattern goes to a like very short and fast. It sounds something like this, and your muscle tends to tense up. And the third thing is that your brain is gonna try to walk you out of it and talk you out of it. And the last thing is that your hands and feet are usually the coldest and they're gonna hurt. It's just a normal reaction because your blood is all rushing into your organs, so mostly in your torso, and your hands and your feet being the furthest away from it, they have less blood, so they're gonna feel colder. And yeah, as I was saying, like for me, the only three things that I say is that you guide your nervous system through your breathing patterns. So by switching that pattern and having a longer exhale and a lot more slower breath, then you're basically sending signals to your nervous system that you're in not in a danger zone. So then slowly your brain and your body will catch up and you will feel relaxed. So that's why it happens that after a minute or so, if you're in the water, you kind of like, oh, now it's getting better, it's getting easier.
Mm,
It's like, now I can chill because it's literally the only that. It's like your nervous system goes in panic mode, so it starts to give you all the things that you need. So that's why your breathing pattern change because you need more oxygen because your brain thinks that you need to run away or escape or get safe. Uh, and the tensing up is just a reaction of the cold water. So it's literally only that. You need to like take back control in that panic mode, and you can do that through slower and longer exhale. So this is kind of how you would approach a cold plunge or an ice bath. Or
it's just so funny. This is proof that we have like a primitive brain who's
yeah,
like doesn't have a clue really
hundred
with the
percent,
modern world.
hundred percent,
It's just like in the 1800s, it
hundred
doesn't
percent.
understand. Because I went through all of that, like, and I'm a intelligent, I hope, conscious
Yeah.
being. And the fact you had to, I felt like a 5-year-old, like, I don't wanna, I'm not doing it. And you were like, come on, just breathe. And just with a reminder of breathe.
Mm.
And then I did it. And then I saw other people doing it. And then my brain was like, oh yeah, you're not gonna
Yeah,
drown.
not.
You're good. You're not gonna die. I think there's just that subconscious like feeling of like hypothermia and all these things that
Yeah,
get
yeah. But I mean,
put
your
into
your
you.
mind has a big influence on you, and that's I think like the biggest skill that you can have is like taking control of that reaction of like you can't escape that like emotional mental reaction,
Mm,
but you can learn to control it, and that's gonna make a huge difference in a lot of things in life. So also, what we we're talking about bad habits, a lot of them are just irrational reaction
yeah.
of patterns that we have. And if you actually stop, it's like, do I want that to do that thing that is not really good for me? You would stop and you would not do it. But because you can't control it and you just react the way that your brain is or your triggering is telling you to react, then you indulge in whatever, in a sweet, in a candy or in alcohol or whatever it is that your bad habit is.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. And I can just imagine now, like, because I had that dopamine hit, especially as an ADHD person. Thank you for that. That was amazing for my brain. But I just feel so calm now and I could sleep and I don't want to eat chocolate or a drink. I like it just feels so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
productive
yeah, yeah.
compared to
After
the
what you done.
exactly like putting so much hard work into that, even those
Hmm.
2 minutes to be fair, but like the bravery of that is true. And
Yeah, it
like
is. It is.
all the health benefits when you think about it, and then to undo it all by going back to bad habits, it just seems so
Yeah, exactly,
irresponsible.
exactly, exactly.
You've talked about breath work like whilst going in the cold water or ice, but in general you give breath work
No, I'm
the
not specifically. I'm not
okay.
trained to give breath work. I have facilitators,
Yeah.
they're instructors for breathwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually recently listened to a podcast from Huberman, uh, the Huberman Lab
Yeah.
podcast. And he's actually saying that recently they noticed that doing breath work before a cold plunge actually is not beneficial. So I have to look a little bit more in depth into that
Oh.
to see the science behind it. And yeah.
But how has it been? Because you speak to the people after, right? How have they felt doing the
Yeah,
breath
like
work?
no one. Everybody loved it. We were giving the ability to do breath work. Is always been mostly a very calming breath work. So I don't
Hmm.
know if that's the difference because there's different type of breath work.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
some breath work there's a bit more gives a bit more energy, or it's a bit more hyperventilation kind of breath
Hmm.
work. That maybe might be the dangerous part, but I'm not sure at the moment. So I need to do a little bit more
Yeah.
research into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went into the Wim Hof bubble during COVID because
Yeah.
there was like all these comments in his video like, oh, it cures COVID and oh, it cures this. But just in my own personal experience, because me and Jamie have both have done it and we've got different experiences. For me, I don't know if it's asthma, I don't know if it's in my brain, but I just felt really like I did the hyperventilation one, where you hold your breath as well, and I was like,
Hmm.
I felt like I'm gonna die. But I don't know, I didn't see, I wasn't calmer, I felt more stressed. Actually, I
Well,
don't know.
I honestly, I think it's a very potent, yeah, important um, skill to learn.
Mm,
As I was saying before, with breath, we control a lot of our reactions and like our nervous system. And I personally had a very strong experiences in with during breath work sessions. Um, I think it's, yeah, like it is personal. It also
mm,
depends what kind of breath work you do. But yeah, I'm a big uh supporter of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's a big following behind it as well. And
Yeah. But I
yeah.
think it's like breath is something that is, this is the core of life, I think. So it's so natural to me that it changes so much based on the situation and based on what we need to do. I can get myself really focused, but just by doing two inhales and one exhale,
Mm,
or get myself really calm just by doing one inhale, hold, and long exhale and hold again. Like, this there's this little breathing pattern and breathing exercise that you can do, and I can feel the difference immediately.
mm.
So I think a lot of people should get a little bit more involved into it.
Yeah. But even when I see it on LinkedIn, I see it on Instagram, just like, oh, are you stressed? Are you snapping at people? Breathe. And I'm just there like rolling my eyes, like, oh, I know I'm breathing already. But it's true just to like take that minute to just, it's more about being with yourself, isn't it? And
Hmm.
like centered
Center, yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
like getting your body back in rhythm. Cause like you said, if you are stressed or something, you do kind of breathe a bit more, even if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
sat down, if it's
It's
just a project or a meeting or something you're stressed about, you're like, oh God,
Yeah,
like
it's
I
a
don't want to do it.
normal physical reaction that we have.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying, it's depends on like what your body needs. If you need a lot more oxygen, then your breath pattern will change.
Yeah.
And usually when you're like anxious or in a anxious situation, your brain doesn't know that you're anxious for a meeting. So it feels like that you're in danger. So it's giving you more oxygen to run or fight.
I totally relate. And there's other colleagues as well who say, oh my God, my first meeting online in front of like 60 people, I'm so scared. And yeah, people just panic. And I guess if you just actually took a step back just before and just regulated your nervous system, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, there's no saber-toothed tiger. We're not going to drown. Like, it's just a meeting
Uh-huh.
in front of people
Yeah, yeah,
virtually.
yeah.
Like, everything is
But
going to
that's
be
also
okay.
a big habit that I am at least trying to push people from my community to do, is just to do the scary things, because that's also a habit that you have to, or a muscle that you have to build.
Mm,
Being stressed and having fear is actually positive because your brain means that you're functioning in a correct way.
mm.
Because if you will never be stressed or never have fear, there's something wrong in you. Like, it's still important thing, but for a lot of things you need to push yourself to don't make you don't do what you have to do.
Mm.
So yeah, like learning to breathe, to calm yourself down, and then actually do what you're scared of doing. It's quite important. I mean, it can be for me, it was speaking in front of people as well, and you realize, like, you see that when you're scared of something or you have to do something that is scary, it's kind of usually the same, goes the same way. Like the closer you get to it, it's get more and more scary, and then as
Mm.
soon as you do the first step and you're into it, all the fear goes away. So it's really literally just building up in your head until you get into it. It was same like you were this morning,
Mm.
that as soon as we got on the dock, you started to feel a bit more scared, and more and more until you actually went into it. And then I feel that your fear went away, right?
Mm.
So it works like that in every cases. So being able to realize that pattern and like push yourself to do things even if you're scared of, it's gonna give you so much benefit to build the muscle and like being able to have the skill of like just doing things that you're scared of. I think is the main way of growing as a person. One of the main motto in at Chillsnsip is growth starts where comfort ends.
Mm.
And I do believe, and what we do, for instance, is at our events when there is a bit more bigger groups, we get someone that to introduce himself in front of everybody,
Mm.
because it's just everyone that does it afterwards, they become so motivated and so like happy that they went through this experience of fear, that yeah, you get so much back from actually doing the thing and like pushing yourself to do things that scares you.
Yeah.
uh, can be like, yeah, extremely beneficial for many reasons in your life.
Our brains suck, low key. Like they protect us, but it's so annoying that like even repetitive things like, I don't know, giving presentations or like I'm doing a keynote speech on Thursday. And I'm like, I've done this before, but I can feel it, like exactly like you said about today. Like my brain's like, we're good, like we're ready. And then the moment comes and you just go in this freak out mode. So I wonder if I have to go for a cold plunge on Thursday before,
Ah, why not?
because then I can just conquer the day. I can just be like, hey, let me go first on the
I
stage.
think
Let me have 1 hour. But how has it helped you with you said you public speak or you do workshops and stuff?
yeah, so I've always had fear of speaking in front of groups, and then this happened, so I had to introduce myself and the event on the first official Chillsnsip event, and there was 80 people. So it was a big crowd for someone that was scared of speaking in front of people. And um, I think just as a getting to the habit of every day jumping in the canal. And
You do it every day?
I when I started in January, I did it for 56 days in a row. Yeah.
Wow.
So like building that habit of like pushing myself every morning to do something challenging actually made it easier for me to push myself to do something more challenging, like speaking in front of people or like a large group of people. Yeah, like I'm extremely proud that I can speak in front of people, and now I'm not really scared anymore. And that allowed me to open up a new possibility, because I've started doing talks at events, and
You're here.
yeah, I'm here doing podcasts. Yeah, 100%. So yeah,
It's
there's
really changed your life. And I feel like even that small story itself, people will be like, yeah, I would take that gamble, right? Just to be cold for 2 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
to have all of these benefits,
Mm-hmm.
not just for one day, but like if you keep going, even
Yeah.
just a cold shower,
Yeah.
changes your confidence. It changes, you told me before as well, whether you do a cold plunge before a workout or after a workout,
Yes.
how it affects your muscles or your
Mhm.
body.
Yeah. So well, there's a scientific research, and basically what they figure out is that if you want to go for strength, a strength workout, it's more beneficial to do ice bath before, which actually find out that there is a 20-30% increase on performance during the strength workout. But if you want to recover, for instance, from a run or from a cardio or workout, then it's better to do it afterwards to reduce inflammation and swelling and so
Could you
on.
overdo it? Like if you did it the morning and then the workout and then after, is that too much?
I mean, I think we'll still give you again the boosts. I don't think it's overdo it. I think it will work the same.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then
There's gonna be a point where probably it's not gonna have an effect anymore if you do like 5 in a row, I guess.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Just you're just constantly in the water. Is it harmful if you stay longer than a few minutes in the water?
Yeah, it can be harmful. Usually, I think by a rule of thumb, based on the degrees, you can be 2 minutes per degrees. Uh, um, but I mean, it depends also if you're trained. If you're not trained, obviously.
Mm.
But in general, if the temperature is cold enough, anything over 3 minutes is not really necessary in terms of health benefits. Like between 1 and 3 minutes, that's kind of the range that you want to be in the water.
Mm. And it
Anything
feels like
afterwards is more like a mental challenge kind of thing.
yeah, and 2 and 3 minutes feels like a long time in the cold. It really does. I was
Yeah.
like, is it time to get out yet?
Yeah, it feels a lot longer if you're alone.
Oh yeah, shit,
Yeah.
you did it by yourself.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
feels a lot longer. Yeah,
Oh no. How do you even did you just
I
have
was
like a
talking to the
timer?
camera.
Ah,
I was recording
oh.
video and talking to the camera.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I can't
that
even
actually was
imagine.
also nice because uh, one very fun thing that kept on happening is that people would walk by and I was just there in the water and they were like being very supportive. Like, yeah, you're doing amazing, well done. So it was kind of a nice surprise that everybody was so supportive, like randomly out of nowhere. See
Yeah.
this crazy guy in the canal in January, and they were like, "Yeah, go, you're doing amazing."
Have you done it like abroad as well whilst being on holiday or
Well, most of the time, if I go on holiday and I manage to find a place or a sauna or a spa or something like this, I will always do. Yeah,
yeah, just to
yeah,
maintain it and
yeah,
get the benefits?
yeah. At the like I'm not doing it. Well, now I'm starting again, but in summer I was not able to do it every day, for instance, because
Yeah.
I don't have an ice bath at my place.
Mm.
Um, but for instance, now I'm quite happy because I can go back and do it in the canal every day.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I think my brain is saying do it again next week, but I need to sleep on it because I would love to do it every week.
No, I think you will love it if you make it a habit. You'll figure out. I
Mm.
mean, we had so many people that like got hooked.
I know it feels really strange. I know I shouldn't like it, but even when I got out of the water, I asked you like, could I go again? Because I was like, I want that again. It's so bizarre. It's
Uh-huh.
really it's kind of like a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Like I know it's bad, but it's good kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you also experimented and you did like B2B, right? You also did it with a company in
Yeah,
collaboration.
so we did some workshop for companies and yeah, did some event for Samsung and Upfront.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that go? How was it in a more corporate setting? Were people up for it? Doing it?
Um, I think like the general response is always the same. People are very curious, but very skeptical and a little bit scared. But usually, yeah, like with a little bit of guidance. Some people need a little bit more of guidance. But I think what I noticed that once you make them realize that they need to just focus on their breath, it's yeah, people tend to be pretty good at it.
Yeah, it was so impressive when I saw it on the Instagram page because I'm used to the like your own content, like you doing it, and Chillsnsip like community. And when I saw Samsung, I was like, "Damn, Luigi, like you're getting up in the
Yeah,
corporate world."
it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you've got big plans, right? I think you're going abroad this time.
Yes. So we are gonna have a collaboration in Fuerteventura. We also organizing a retreat in January in Fuerteventura,
Yeah.
same location. Yeah, so there's a lot of exciting things, and to be honest, this entire journey has been, you know, exciting things coming one after the other, and possibly we are looking into expanding in other cities as well.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah,
So
but
there's a real need
we'll
for
see.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are
I
you,
think
did
so.
you get like interest from other cities
Oh
for
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Already many different cities. Different location here in the Netherlands. I got approached by people in like South of Italy. I've approached by people in London.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Where would
yeah.
you do it in London? I don't know.
I don't know.
Not in the
Well, yeah,
Thames.
you can. No, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. I mean,
It would be
uh,
tough.
I mean, you could do in the actual ice bath, not jumping in the canal and just
Yeah, of
doing the ice
course.
bath.
Yeah, I'm sure in London there's already spaces that
I mean,
can
it's a
cater
bigger
to
city,
it.
so there's probably bigger spaces to like have. Like one of the kind of challenges that we are facing here, or that we were facing, is finding location that are big enough. They have outside space to have the ice bath and
Mm,
allow so many people to gather.
yeah.
So in London, I'm pretty sure it would be a lot easier to set it up.
I was just going to ask if I'm based in the Amsterdam area, how can I join Chillsnsip?
You can go on chillsnsip.com, and on there you can find the link to the WhatsApp. And on the WhatsApp, we just share all the new events and possible collaboration that we're gonna do, and any other update. So either by following Instagram, or the main channel that we use is WhatsApp, where we have the communication for all the community, and you can find the link to the WhatsApp group on chillsnsip.com.
I was so surprised when I went into it. I was expecting like a handful of people, but there was like nearly 1,000.
Yeah, so the plunge group. So we have different groups on the community based on the interest. One is the plunge, then we have running, padel. We have a social group, and boot camp,
What's a boot camp?
just workouts.
Not with plunging.
Just no,
No.
just
Oh,
so these are like just different groups based
yeah.
on the interest,
Yeah.
because as I said, we just don't just do ice bath events. We just now trying to do all sorts of different yeah activities, either wellness or fitness. So there's also a bouldering group.
Oh, I love bouldering.
Yeah, so we have a group that goes every Tuesday and Thursday to bouldering. But yeah, like in each group there's a different amount of people, and then the general and the Chillsnsip community WhatsApp group, there's around 1,500 people.
It's so big. I can't believe how many people. Well, actually, I can now. Now I'm in it. Now I'm like, I want to go again. So I can imagine it's a bit like of a cult almost, that people get obsessed with this. And
I think it's just like because people are really like we said at the beginning, they're really like looking for any other new ways of connecting with people. I think kind of everybody is a bit done with the whole.
drinking culture
Yeah,
and partying
exactly.
and yeah, it's exhausting. Whilst this, I can have a good night's sleep now. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a nap. I'm gonna sleep. Like I'm
Uh-huh.
so tired. Like I can't wait. And it was just so interesting today, just sitting with strangers. I've never met any of these people before, but we were just on the couch in this cafe having a really nice like hot cappuccino and just talking like we were friends for ages.
Mhm.
I find that like you don't get that even when, because when you go to parties and stuff and you drink, it's just a different version of you,
Yeah,
a
exactly.
more confident, silly
Hmm.
version of you and everyone else. Whilst this is really like, this is me in my most relaxed state.
Yeah,
And everyone, I found that so
yeah,
interesting.
and I was saying before as well, like this bonding kind of happens when you go through this difficult, challenging experience.
Yeah.
It really makes a difference. Like people really connect on a very quick turn of event. Yeah.
And have you thought about in the future, like next year or like 5 years, how do you see Chills and Sip
Well, the goal
becoming?
is to yeah, expand and go in other cities and try to bring the community in other part of the world. Yeah, and this is just bring as many experiences as possible for people to, yeah, not only getting to good habits, but also, being uh part of this supportive group of like-minded people that will push you to maintain those healthy habits,
Yeah.
and yeah, hopefully bring it in more places other than just Amsterdam.
I think it's necessary. And something we didn't mention is that you don't have to have a level, right? I feel like with a yoga class or boxing or something, you need to be beginner,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
medium,
No,
highest level.
this is for everyone,
It's,
anyone and
I
everyone.
think that's why it's so inclusive because, like, even if you are experienced, it's still a crazy situation you're
Yeah.
putting yourself through. So
Uh-huh.
it doesn't really get like super easy where you're just like, I'm just gonna nosedive in the canal. It's still like that effect in your body. So that's
Hmm.
something really important to say that people are all different levels actually, and you still feel really welcome
Yeah,
and
yeah.
close.
I mean, honestly, one of the things that I'm the most proud is really the people of the community, because they've everyone that we had at the event has been amazing, welcoming, and as soon as you come, everybody's just introducing to each other. We also do something that at the beginning of the events, usually we get people to switch up seats, so sit next to someone they don't know and
All
like
right.
start to talk and introduce each other. And we've done this a few times, and every time we kind of like to make it easier for people to like, we want to give them a question so that they can get start a conversation, but we never had the need to say the question, because as soon as they start to sit down next to each other, they just start talking.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, the vibe and the type of people that are joining the event is has been so amazing to see. And like I've seen so many beautiful friendship being born by the event. Like it's been very very amazing.
You should be so proud. Like the amount of companies that try and do this internally and communities that try and build something like this. Like it's a slow burner because like it's going to the thousands and 2000s and abroad, etc. But you should be really proud because it's really consistent and really like I felt like I met
Effort.
like 4 friends today. It's
It's amazing to
crazy.
hear. I appreciate it. I'm definitely very, very proud. Yeah.
Also in the WhatsApp group, people then arrange to meet each other even
Yes, they
outside of the events.
do.
Yeah, yeah. That's I've seen people really build friendship from it, and it's beautiful to see. And that's also why we have different groups for different activities, because everybody can kind of like match with their like-minded and go for uh, any sort of experience or activities that they want to do. We also have a social group so that
Yeah.
people can just go out and do things that are not related only to the wellness, but just, I don't know, anything that can be socially.
I saw that. Yeah. People were like, oh, who's at this party tonight?
Yeah,
Who's at museum playing tonight?
yeah.
Thank you. So
Took me a few minutes.
that's fine. Like your cards that you have with the when you're introducing new people, I would like for you to take one conversation
Okay,
card and
sure.
then you can answer the question. I don't even know what it says. Do you
Hey.
want to read it out?
Yeah, I can. What is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? Okay.
Tell us.
Mm. I would say believe in yourself and don't care about what other people think. Yeah.
What makes you
Just
say that?
yeah. I mean, like growing up, I think I don't know. Also, maybe because of the way that my culture is, there's a lot of like caring about other people and how you look, and what people are gonna think about you and how you present yourself socially. So it kind of like made me growing up as a teenager wearing a lot of different masks
Mm.
to like get liked by people. And I realized that a lot of people that I was putting mask on to get them to like me, now that I'm a bit more conscious about who I am and who I want to be, and what I really like, what I don't like, those kind of connection kind of faded away because they were not natural connection. So yeah, I don't know, like being more true to myself and don't care what other people think is. I found that it really builds the strongest connection with people
A strong connection with yourself,
and with myself. Yeah, for
which is
sure.
the most important
Yeah.
relationship.
100%.
Luigi, you've been amazing. Thank you so, so much. I think I've learned a lot today with the immersive experience. I'm sure people are listening and thinking, oh, I'm so jealous. I'm going to try it out and find my own community. But your
Start their
Chillsnsip,
own.
they can start their own, or yours will probably be in their hometown
Hopefully
very
soon.
soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you for
much.
having me. It was fun.